British Olympic champions. Matthew Pinsent gets his first Olympic title, Stephen Redgrave his third. There is history made again.
We begin in September 1995, when for most, the competition season is over. The months ahead will require personal sacrifices and single-mindedness. All obstacles must be overcome if they're to bring those medals back home.
If she wants an egg, I'll have to go and make it.
It's not going to make itself, is it?
Don't use those sticker remarks to do it. You only came home yesterday. Don't start already.
When can I start this?
Never. Stay there until last night.
Steve Redgrave has won 3 Olympic gold medals. A 4th would make him one of the world's greatest Olympians.
It was a rabbit when that's on a show and he couldn't talk.
Matthew Pinsent is Steve's present rowing partner.
No, it won't go in.
Together, they've formed an unbeatable partnership.
7 o'clock in the morning. Not supposed to be here. Supposed to be in the car, ready to go and meet Matthew and Jürgen.
In a sense, a lot of the attention that's going to be focused on us is going to be saying how bloody marvellous we are. And if we start believing that, then we become weaker, definitely.
Give you a kiss and a hug. You're a very good girl.
You'll see, we won't go down before they've got here.
You keep waiting, look for when Matthew's going. What car Matthew's car is?
Big blue car,
Keep
isn't
for
it?
that one, isn't it?
Big blue.
Big blue one, yeah.
Kiss.
Bye for Daddy. Hug.
Bye.
Hugs.
Have a
Hugs
hug
for Daddy.
too. Hug.
Give Daddy hugs.
Oh.
Steve and Matt will see little of their own homes over the months to come, as their training takes them all over the world.
You go as well.
Huh?
You have as well. Let's go.
It's particularly hard for Steve leaving his wife and a young family behind. He's the only one of our diarists who has children.
A late start.
That's my fault. I wanted a cup of tea.
The training camps can last for anything up to 3 weeks, during which time they eat, sleep and drink rowing. The first one is on Lake Lanier, the Olympic site in Atlanta.
291 days. We'll be sitting out here for the final of the Olympic Games.
And we'll be nervous.
Yeah. And we're sitting here now. No boys, no starting pontoons, no nothing. Just us sitting out here in the lake. The Olympic Games will be held on the very course. In some ways I should feel nervous.
I've got goosebumps.
Have you? I don't, that's because it's cold.
Does it make the hairs in the back of your neck stand up?
Hey?
Does it make the hairs in the back of your
No.
neck stand up?
No.
Oh, it does to me. Can you not see them just here?
Water's good. Let's have a bit of rain that goes with it. Oh, that's a bit of a cabinet adjustment. No.
No, you got it.
Done. Ready and we're off.
When the pair began working with top former East German coach Jürgen Grobler, their training regime became much tougher.
Time to turning laser.
Sorry?
200 meters.
Despite being world champions, They can't afford to rest on their laurels, particularly Steve, who intends to retire after these games.
Good.
Last 10 strokes. 1 away. 2 away. Double legs. Ready, go. Don't forget the bodies. Easy. The smell of victory. I'd say that. That's a pretty good review of the last 20 strokes. Yes. Still 9 months to go. A lot of work to do, but it's good. I'm looking forward to it. A bit scary in some respects. With the 3 other Olympics I've been to, deep down I've always known that I was going to carry on. So even if it went wrong, there was always going to be another one, another chance, where deep down I can't see myself carrying on. So there's no second chance.
Sofia Airport and our luxury bus that's going to take us to this fantastic Bulgarian trip. I do apologise for laughing, but this is the whole nightmare that I was dreading coming true, and worse. We've been here about 2 hours, eventually got us through passport control and customs without paying any money, which I don't know how they managed to do us. And now we're putting all our bags onto this bus, and we've got something like a 2.5 hour bus journey to find this mountain that we're supposed to be up to. It's going to be very amusing, but I bet the sense of humour is going to run a little bit dry by the end of it.
Steve and Matt have gone from one training camp to the next. This one in Bulgaria is their coach Jürgen's choice.
These are the sort of things we do on training camp. Pretty fascinating. We tend to be sitting around in our rooms a lot. So either read books, play games, sometimes we play cards, sleep a bit. Just basically waiting around for the next training camp, waiting around for the next training session. Pretty boring existence, really.
Better than working for a living.
The only problem is it's Saturday today, and people who work for a living are sitting by the telly watching the rugby.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in this bloody room.
Could be worse, it could be raining. Oh, it is. It could be worse. We could be in some hellhole in Bulgaria. Oh, we are.
Stuck on a mountain.
Let's face it, it couldn't be much worse. 1, 2, 3, go.
Pretty desolate out here.
It's like being on a desert island. And okay, you know a lot of people here, you know the guys that you're training with, but at the moment there's no problem. Everyone's fresh and everyone's having a good time. We're getting through the training all right, but as time goes on, I think the pressures are going to start getting to us, and I think tempers begin to get frayed as you do more and more training and get more tired.
It didn't take long. Jürgen stormed out of the gym after an argument with Steve over a change in the training schedule.
Have you seen Jürgen?
No. Into the physio.
You going to try and see Jürgen?
No. We started weights at 4, which we were told this morning and last night they were going to be heavy weights. And just after lunch, Jürgen came to Matthew and told Matthew that they've been changed to circuits. Circuit weights are so much harder than heavy weights.
You should have started saying whatever you were going to say by saying, it's right that we do circuits now, but why didn't you make your mind up 6 weeks ago? Yeah. That would have made a huge difference, to be fair. I wouldn't have pissed him off.
I'm not a diplomat.
No, you can say that again. You can be. Yeah, I can be. And I think this year of all years, we've got to be.
A bit of conflict doesn't hurt anybody. Keeps everyone on their toes, us then as well as Jürgen.
No, that's bollocks, I reckon. The fact is, by having conflict with Jürgen, we're making his job with us that much harder and less enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well, this washing is coming up a tree.
Is it?
Mm.
Time for some sleep, I think. It's been a busy week so far. And harder to come.
They all face 7 more months of ferocious training and personal sacrifice. As the pressure builds, can their will to win carry them through?
No mistakes. The desire is still there, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Steve and his rowing partner, Matthew Pinsent, are setting off for their warm weather training in Australia. At 3.5 weeks, it'll be the longest training camp they've ever done.
It's going to be a very tough year on the kids. Going to be away for a lot of time. But it's a price that I think it's worth paying. Those other socks as well. Calm down. Everyone think you're glad that your dad's going away.
No, I'm not.
Aren't you?
You're going away tomorrow.
Go on, go on, go on, it's going, it's going, it's still going, it's still going, it's still going, it's still going.
Everyone takes the mickey out the Australians and their core cats and that situation, but these flies just get on your tits. But whatever you do, they're there. See on my shoulder. 5, 6, 7. That's just flies all the time. My back's covered in them. All the time. Very, very frustrating.
Ready? Go.
That's wicked. Look at that. I want to get out there and do some racing.
Stephen and Matthew haven't actually rowed together in a pair since they've come to Australia. They've been concentrating on endurance and strength training in the gym and rowing with other members of the British team in the 8s and the 4s.
Are you ready to get back into the pair?
Yeah. I'm not dying to.
I'm itching to get back into it, yeah.
Why?
I think it's time. It's been alright rowing in the 4s and the 8s and since we've been here, and I've quite enjoyed not doing the pair here. Because I think the water would have been a real struggle here. The water would have been shit. But I certainly think it's time now to move on.
Move on.
On. Even. I'd hate to, at the end of the day, to think that, oh shit, we didn't do this, or if we'd done that better.
Yeah.
I want to go into it thinking,
We've done everything we possibly could.
yeah. In some ways as well, if things are going too smoothly, the complacency comes in.
Yeah.
And I think we've got to create our own firing up. We don't want things to go wrong. We want things to go to plan. But I just don't want to get into the situation of we're just sort of cruising through it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy. It's going to be bloody hard. They're not going to give out the medal for doing nothing.
Unfortunately.
Quite tired. Bit pissed off. Don't know why really. Just training camp blues. Day and a half of training left to go. 5 sessions for another half day off. It's always a horrible time. Nothing really to look forward to. Overall, the last week's training's gone well. Quite happy with it. Some days you just wish you were home.
El proyecto Atlanta, un programa olímpico de desarrollo social. A continuación,
Name the World Championship venues going back from last year.
Rowing World Championship?
Yeah.
How far back?
As far as you can.
Yeah. Finland.
Yeah.
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Prague.
Yeah.
Barcelona Olympics.
Yeah.
91 was Vienna, 90 was Tasmania, 89 was Bled, 88 was the Olympics in Korea. 87, that's getting before my time now.
Stephen and Matthew have moved on to another training camp, this time in Seville. During the time they're here, they'll be constantly monitored and tested to find out how their bodies are reacting to the intense training.
What was my lactase?
I think the last one was 3.99 and Steve's 1.2. So, okay, we'll have to see. I'm exactly in Matthew, Steve.
Their coach, Jürgen Gröbler, is worried by some of the results and decides on a radical change of tactics.
Okay, we sort that out.
2 laps back to here and in.
Jürgen has decided to swap Steve and Matt's positions in the boat. Matthew will sit at bow while Steve goes into the stroke seat. It's 6 years since the pair rowed this way round.
I suppose for ages I've been sort of itching to get back into the stroke seat, but now the opportunities have arisen that you start getting very worried and thinking, well, I know how well it goes the other way around. Why change it?
At the moment, my feeling is that this combination will work for a while because we'll both enjoy the change, we'll both enjoy the rest that the changing combination gives us. But deep down, I don't know whether yet we've got the same confidence in this combination as we had with me at stroke. That's just what I'm sensing at the moment. Steve has definitely been more easygoing since he's been stroking. It was really hard to train with. It was really hard work between us at the beginning of the week. And since we changed it round, he's really opened up and been much more easygoing. That's annoying, really. That's annoying that he that he changes his behaviour according to where he sits in the boat.
If there is a change and it's a more long-term change, we know that Jürgen believes it's for the best, so it makes it a little bit more nerve-wracking, which in some respects may be a benefit. Puts you on that little bit of an edge.
And that could be it for the rest of the year. Could be good night at Vienna for me in the stroke seat.
But I think that if we could swap it, we swapped it back. We know how well it goes. We know it goes very well, and I don't think we'd lose anything by swapping it around for a while, and maybe gain something from it.
I think you get an appreciation of what it's like to row in the other seat. I mean, it's an obvious point, but you get suddenly things begin to make sense in some ways, and it gives you a chance to do the job the other guy was doing, and it gives you a chance to do it in a way that you think it ought to be done. If you thought he was doing something wrong, then you do it right, basically.
Stephen and Matthew are under tremendous pressure from the media, especially Steve, who's going for his 4th successive gold.
That's, that 4th gold medal dream still as bright, still as kind of important as ever.
Definitely, it's nearly over now, so it'd be silly to let it slip now.
Good luck, boys. Thanks. Cheers. Cheers.
London News Radio.
Keep them coming.
Keep going. The conveyor belt.
So, Steve, what's it going to be like when you're Olympic golf?
FA Cup final.
Chelsea.
In
some ways, it's been quite hard to cope with the media's response of myself going for 4 Olympic gold medals. It does put a bit more pressure on, a lot more pressure. A lot of the talk is when you win your 4th gold medal. A lot of thoughts that I've had recently is that what happens if we don't win? I've been Olympic champion for the last 12 years. If I retire, what would it be like not being Olympic champion? Of coming so close and failing. It's very tough. Just so many little things could go wrong.
Attention. Go! Stephen and Matthew's coach, Jürgen, swapped their positions in the boat 8 weeks ago. This radical change is giving Steve severe doubts at their Spanish training camp.
The boat's going reasonably quick, and it's showing a bit of promise that way round. So Jürgen doesn't want to swap it round. He's quite happy to leave it as it is. But I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the way that we're rowing and approaching it. Go! We're on the top of the racing season now. In no time, it's going to be all over. In some respects, it's important for us to go out and do well in the first regatta. We want to show our dominance. We've dominated our event for the last 5-6 years, but it's not time to lose that now in such an important year. It's so important to get out there and do the business.
After heated discussions, their coach Jürgen swapped them back, but the atmosphere is still tense.
I'm so aware that Steve is unhappy with the way that it was going, and unhappy with both our performances, I think, when he was stroking. I think he feels that I didn't want to row that way around, and so didn't put my full efforts behind it. So it's kind of tense. There's a little bit of unspoken pressure at the moment. But got to get on with it.
It's May, and the first international race of the season is in Italy.
You forget about these times of when it's going badly. And that's the whole thing of getting over these little stumbling blocks. That all gets forgotten in the glory. A lot of work's been done, a lot of good work's been done. And it's really harnessing the power and the speed and the endurance that we've gained over the winter, which we have. Most of our tests are up at personal bests. But we're just having a little bit of problem at the moment of harnessing that together. To the outsider, it doesn't look any difference, but we know inside.
Tutto è pronto, bandiera rossa, lo start ha dato il via. Magnifiche queste immagini, vedete lo sponsor della barca inglese, guadagno circa $1 miliardo nell'anno olimpico, questi nuovamente pendolo sul finale. La Francia sembra aver pagato questo sforzo intorno ai 1000 metri. La scia degli inglesi ancora aumentano ancora, 36, 37, 38 ancora per minuto. È il più grande equipaggio della storia del canottaggio. Molto bravi. Pinsent e Redgrave.
They beat their rivals by an outstanding margin of 5 seconds.
We had to send a message to those pairs, and the message was, you can't beat us. This is our year. This is our Olympics. And we rowed in that style. We rowed in that manner. It's no good for us to go to the Olympics on a wing and a prayer. We like having seasons where no one gets close all season. We like having consistent seasons. We like unbeaten seasons. And we started this one off on the right foot, and that makes us feel good. It's a nice feeling. Part of the pleasure of winning at the Olympics is that you went through all that. You were so nervous that you felt that you just couldn't go on. And through that pressure and through that cauldron of emotions, you came through and you won. And that makes it enjoyable. You may not enjoy it at the time. In fact, it's very unlikely that an hour before the race you're enjoying it. Maybe that during the race you're not enjoying it. But standing on the podium, getting the medal around your neck, having the national anthem, yeah, that's enjoyable. He says it's an understatement.
Are you ready? I go?
Spirits are high. So's the pitch.
It's the end of June. Stephen and Matthew are in Lyon for their last big training camp before the Games.
Hello!
Well, this is our room. Nothing glamorous at all. Got one double bed and one small single bed. And just like Australia, Matthew got to the room first, so he bags the big bed and I'm left with the single bed. He did say that halfway through the camp we would change around, and of course knowing Matthew as well as I do know Matthew, that he would say that at the beginning of the camp, and when it actually comes around to it, that the offer isn't there. Something that I won't push. It doesn't really worry me. I'm quite happy in the single bed on the floor. It's probably a little bit more support. They're quite saggy mattresses, so it gives you a little bit more support when it's on the floor anyway. And it also makes Matthew feel good that he's got one over me, that he's got the double bed again. But it doesn't worry me at all.
Stephen's family have joined him for a couple of weeks.
What I have enjoyed was the night thing called.
Yeah, that's
nice.
It's awful. Daddy first? Oh,
Look at those
I don't need a boost. There we go.
I don't do things like that. That's enough.
Bonjour.
They've got you. They've got you.
Non, parce que c'est exceptionnel men.
Okay.
I thought it was a journalist, but it's obviously Mrs. Liggins. The way they're coming, like, it was really important. And, it's obviously the biggest thing to happen to Aiguebelette since Marie Antoinette spent a night at Hotel La Plage.
I hope for you a beautiful silver medal.
Just behind the French, behind the Italians.
No,
no chance. No chance.
No chance. Very good team, your team.
Steve has been relatively easy to get on with this camp. He was under pressure, I think, at the beginning, with some of the rigging and some of the blade. decisions, some of the decisions over the oars, and that made him hard to live with for a couple of days, but in general he's been very motivated, very single-minded, which has been really good.
I think we're both pretty relaxed. I'm probably the relaxedest I've ever been on any training camp. I don't know if that's a good or a bad sign. We'll have to wait and see. The result in Atlanta, we'll find that out.
I want to say something kind of upbeat and to round it all off, but I don't want to tempt fate. We're going to be very hard to beat. Very, very hard.